Oh, hey there, and welcome to another episode of the Ope-Eh Three-Way Pro Wrestling Podcast. This being episode 45. 45 episodes through. Always joined by my good buds, Donnie and Pierce. Fellas, how we doing?
I got a grapefruit shandy, so I'm doing all right.
I'm just
That sounds
taking her
okay.
easy. I'm taking her easy after a Canada Day celebration yesterday, so no booze for me.
Oh, look at that metered Canadian abstinence. How was your Canada Day, Don? What for the folks listening at home who may not be of true Northern persuasion? What is it that you do on that there Canada Day? Is it like our Independence Day or what's
Yeah,
going on with that there?
it's whatever you want it to be, right? Like a Tuesday holiday is never uh, an ideal one on the calendar, but you got people that do stuff in the city. You got people that do fireworks in their backyards. You got big park events, stuff like that. So it's really whatever you want it to be, but it's not really any dissimilar from what you guys have down there, right? So
Yeah, what's it? Boozing and putting wieners in our mouth and blowing shit up. Yeah, that's the American
whoa,
way.
yo,
I mean, if you were a burger guy, I suppose you could do that too.
oh,
Slap a little
oh,
cheddar on top of
you're
that.
talking about meat. Okay,
Brandon, it's been 3 minutes.
Were
okay.
you unsure of the fact that I was talking about meat? Oh, you're being one of those like closet Canadian perverts. I see what you're getting at. You put on that nice demeanor, the smile,
What?
but right behind the facade, there's just this lust. I don't even know. I'm just going off on a tangent. It's been a long day today, but a
Ah,
beautiful day. Beautiful day to talk wrestling, and
oh.
definitely not putting wieners in our mouth.
I wish we were doing video for this,
Shut up,
so
bitch!
people could see me and Donnie's face right now.
Off is the direction you can fuck. Go fuck
Were we really?
yourself.
Damn, really? Wow.
You're the one who did that, Brandon.
And
That's
then
on
when you
you.
and then
Did
when
I?
you stop talking,
I prayed for this and it happened.
All right. Well, I said my bit for now about the wieners and
Well, anyway,
the
follow
American
us
way.
on socials:
yes.
X, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Dropkicked, any and all of them. We'd love to have you. Come talk to us.
Hey,
Come
I got
follow
my
us.
dropkick match on there too, Pierce. Finally got
Oh,
around to it.
I'm gonna look at what it is real quick.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, go take a peek ski.
Do I need to do this now?
Well, you're the odd man out there, Don, so you might want to jump on the train before it leaves La
That
Station.
is a good match.
It's
You
a great
didn't rate it
match.
though. You got to give it a rating. I'll let you be the rater.
Oh,
I'll let you rate that.
mm-hmm.
I have to do this on an app.
Not necessarily, but it does help.
Ugh. Sign
You know
in.
how it is these days.
All right, I'm gonna get to doing that while you guys do whatever it is that you need to do.
On this day.
Well, you guys, this is a Pierce thing, but I'll get to it. In 2001, the main event of Raw in the Tacoma Dome featured the first ever WCW match in WWE history. Booker T. So it's kind of weird how this happened. So at the end of Raw, they kind of changed everything. They made it WCW. They had new commentators. I know it was Arn Anderson, somebody else, and then they had a specific ring announcer as well. Booker T would defend the WCW World Title against Buff Bagwell. It is super infamous because Buff had not wrestled in a couple months, so he got blown up real quick into the match.
Oh yeah.
Crowd was not into it, booing, chanting boring. And then Stone Cold and Kurt Angle, who were both heels at the time, came out, caused a no contest, and got cheered more than the two guys in the ring. And it's widely considered as a complete failure. And then the invasion happened, which is also considered a failure.
Mm.
And then Buff Bagwell got fired like 3 days later.
Well, yeah. I mean, after he was a contributing factor in further burying WCW beneath the bedrock, and Booker
So
T by extension too, he got a shit end of that stick during that whole ordeal.
Buff might be the stuff, but he was not the stuff on that night.
So he was definitely stuffed, but not in the way you want to be.
Oh
Different.
boy.
Okay, get off that train of thought, Don. That's left the station now.
2002
See this
on a
one? Oh,
SmackDown
okay.
taping. Edge would win his 8th tag team championship with who as his teammate?
On what now? I beg your pardon.
2002 SmackDown. Edge wins the
Oh,
tag team gold. Who's his teammate?
well, I assume he'd have to be a real American, considering they were in the States at that point. He was probably fighting for the rights of just about every man, but I mean, he was getting up there in years. So
Yep.
was it Bulk Bogan? Was that his name?
Notable beer connoisseur Hulk Hogan.
God.
A real American beer connoisseur.
It's one of the shittiest beers
Real,
I've ever had. I will not shill it.
real
It is bad.
Stillwater piss American beer. Yeah. Cringy
But
commercials and all, too.
oh god, those commercials are terrible. Donnie, you should be lucky you
Mm-mm.
don't get to see them.
Oh, I'm definitely glad I don't have to deal with anything related to that guy.
Well, we'll jump ahead 5 years to two people that are widely beloved in wrestling. Umaga, rest in peace, would defeat Santino Marella for the Intercontinental Championship on Raw, regaining the title that he had lost to Santino when he was pulled out of the crowd as a fan.
Ah, the Milan Miracle, as they call it.
At the time, he was the Milan Miracle. He was not the funny man just yet. And we got a couple of birthdays. Happy birthday to Scotty Too Hottie, the master of the worm. Still gets pops every time he does it.
Yeah,
Happy
when you can
birthday
catch him.
to a man who we will talk about a little later, Charles Robinson, Lil Nate, one of the greatest refs in the history of the biz.
Oh, yeah.
And it's appropriate. We were just talking about Canada Day because we got to talk about the greatest Canadian superstar of all time. Happy birthday to one of the GOATs, a man known as the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Hell yeah.
We need to get his guitar screech on that soundboard one of these days. What?
I've
Just
got
we'll figure out uses for it.
I've got like a max
But
number that I can set up for this, so I think am I at the max number? Let me see. 36. I think I can add one more. I don't know that
mm,
that's the one, but I could probably get rid of a couple that we don't really use all that often either. So
Honestly, we
steady
haven't used them
rotation.
too often since we kind of switched to doing this where we're talking over video chat. But
yes,
Bret Hart is a man who obviously multiple time WWE champion, multiple time WCW champion. Fun fact, he's also a two-time King of the Ring. And we just saw the winner of the King and the Queen of the Ring last Saturday at Night of Champions in Riyadh. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be reviewing and talking about the matches that happened there and everything else in between. How are we feeling after Night Champions, guys?
I'm glad it all went down without a hitch. I mean, sounds like there weren't any complications really. I mean, you had the initial scares with travel, but the event itself seems like it went well, and everybody was able to get back to the States all right. So, yeah, crisis averted. As far as the event itself, um, peaks and valleys. I mean,
I,
we can talk about those more in detail as they come along, but it was kind of like a, you know,
I would
bit of a
agree.
roller coaster.
I'll say this: when it was Vince's WWE and they went to Saudi, those shows were 99% dog shit. Like, it was always something big, like The Undertaker versus Goldberg, or Goldberg coming back to face The Fiend, or, John Cena versus Triple H, or Triple H and Randy Orton. Guys that I'm not saying John Cena and Randy Orton shouldn't be in the ring, but Triple H at that time probably shouldn't have been. Or it was the 5-way Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair tag team match for supremacy of something, or the Best in the World tournament that only had United States wrestlers and was won by Shane McMahon. Like it was just a bunch of just random bullshit thrown together for no reason that stopped storylines that weren't any good. And I'm not going to talk about Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement because he's been fully retired since 2010. No stop. Nothing has changed since then. And but the Saudi shows under Hunter have been fairly good, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't really care for the Saudi shows. And this is no exception. It's still, I would say, it's still better than the older Saudi shows, but it was not. It was middle of the road for me.
Yeah, I mean, we still got SummerSlam coming up, so they're not gonna blow their entire load, even if it's Saudi and even if they're paying good money. Like they're getting 3 PLEs next year, including the Royal Rumble. I presume Night of Champions as well again, and then I also presume that Crown Jewel will be returning. Um, so they'll just continue to build on what they have, and who knows, maybe the Royal Rumble actually turns out to be pretty decent, all things considered. But that's
We're realistically
January.
pretty close to a Saudi Mania, so I would expect that in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, yeah, I could see that being probably in the last year of their deal, if not the penultimate year of the deal.
Okay, sorry,
Because
I'm dialed back in now that I've posted my match on there.
I'm gonna take a sneak
So
I
that
got
peek.
was
boy Don Don.
wasn't the easiest thing to navigate, admittedly. Oh, I have unsaved changes. Tap save to apply. Okay, crap. There we go. There we go.
Hey, what'd you vote for, Don?
You gotta see. Make sure I did
That's
it
a hell of a
Oh,
match.
oh, you gotta make me go into app. You know what?
right. I gotta make
I
sure I do it right. I'm an old man. Like I don't know how to work any of this shit anymore.
yeah,
I'm only a couple years younger than you
we
there,
got
Don.
3 absolute bangers as our matches for that. So
Well, naturally, you know. Speaking of
Um,
bangers, back on the Saudi event here.
yeah, so
Uh,
why don't we just cover really quick the SmackDown matches that were relevant, aka the three title
mm,
matches, to properly
mm-hmm.
set the stage for the rest of the events of that weekend. So SmackDown on Friday, out of Riyadh, same event space for both. Place looked huge. That set that they had was great. They need the bigger Titantron-esque screens more often. I just don't really like these like super tiny ramps with super tiny screens. It doesn't really work for me. I just
oh
like
yeah,
the
Yeah.
bigger spectacle associated with,
bring back entrance videos.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
that TKO budget friendly production because
just
they
try and
clearly
get
can't
more
afford
people
anything.
in the seats too, right? Like, but anyways,
Yeah,
there were
that
three title
overwhelming demand.
matches. Yeah, there were three title matches on SmackDown. First one was the title change, which had Julia become the new women's United States champion by defeating Zelina Vega.
It was the right
I
choice.
thought, yep, I'll agree to that. If Julia were to lose that match, especially, I mean, and you heard, or maybe you didn't hear the pop that Zelina got when she came out. Pins. You could have heard a pin drop in that arena, that massive arena, because of how little noise they made for Zelina. And it sucks too because Zelina's great. But if Julia would have lost that match, I feel like it probably would have just killed her dead. I feel like it would have killed any trace of momentum she could happen to get within the next year. And people wanted a change in that scene. So you got to do something to spark it. And I felt like Julia winning was the right move on that. So,
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Yeah,
Zelina didn't
it's
really do
unfortunate
much.
for her.
I mean, you can't be a champion forever. You shouldn't be a mid card champion forever. And quite frankly, there's not a lot of intrigue in Zelina Vega as U.S. champion.
no,
So,
not this go
there.
around, anyhow.
Match quality is, eh, so we'll see what happens. These mid card titles are hit and miss all the time when it comes to the reigns, right? So we'll see how what happens here with Julia as United States champion. Then the men's tag team titles were defended. Street Profits versus the White Six. Ended in a no contest because every other tag team wanted to get involved.
Yeah, it became a weird tag team lumberjack match somehow. I don't know. I'm glad at least. I'm at least glad the Wyatts didn't get the belts this early. It would have been way too soon.
I agree. I don't think
And
they
again,
deserve the titles this early.
like I said, their match with the Guns was not that impressive. I feel to warrant them even being number one contenders. So I mean, that's where I think it should be. I think they need to, if they really want to build up the Wyatts for that reign, which is coming, then just keep putting them in matches. Put them on a weekly basis if you have to. Continue to build the intrigue with them. Get them some actual chemistry to develop between Gacy and Loomis, and then we can talk about it. Maybe like after SummerSlam, but yeah, too soon.
You good there, Pierce? Nothing else to add?
It happened. I don't really have much to add. So,
All right. Then the main event saw Tiffany Stratton successfully defend her WWE Women's Championship by defeating Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. Naomi came out, and in typical WWE laziness, an attempted cash in that wasn't a cash in, making everybody look pretty stupid.
Mm-hmm.
why just run the same playbook for this? Why? Do something different. Make it interesting. If either she cashes in or she doesn't. Don't do the half-assed fake cash in.
Well, and for the fact too that again, it's the same problem that happened during Tiffany's go as Miss Money in the Bank. You have all these perfect opportunities to cash in. Common sense solutions, right? Both champs are down in war games. You pick one, you pin them, you go on. In this case, you have two women beating the dog shit out of each other. Pick the winner. After the match is done, clap them from behind, take their championship, go on. But I don't know. We're doing this again, I suppose. So we'll see if and when Naomi decides she actually wants to make good on her cash in. But
Probably
yeah,
SummerSlam.
Yeah, now that it seems
yeah,
like we're getting this the match that we are at SummerSlam, which we'll talk about in a bit, that's probably where we're going to get it.
yeah. But the stip made perfect sense for a
Yeah,
cash
the
in at Night of
stipulation made
Champions.
perfect sense for a cash in there. It doesn't necessarily make Nia look stupid, but like that, it makes Naomi look pretty stupid. Like, and also like it was just sloppily executed. Like Naomi's
Hmm.
standing there, like, here, take the briefcase, but then not letting it go because she's waiting for like the spot, and it was just,
Waiting for a cue, and it
yeah,
just
it's
looks
just
dumb.
ugly, ugly, ugly. Like it looked like shit. Um, yeah, and like then she was still out of the match for another like 10 minutes almost, right? And then even post
Mm.
match stuff, she's just lying there. Like, give me a break.
Kind of as a sidebar comment too, I was talking to our boy Austin Pierce, and he said, I think 2 or 3 weeks that I talked to him in a row about it, he's like, dude, Naomi fucking sucks. And I'm like, I'm trying to defend, like, no, she's actually pretty good. But like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like she's just right when it comes to things like that, like big time decision making and big time moments that she could have. Like she's not doing herself any favors, with that kind of criticism being thrown at her.
Her social media
But
game is better than the execution of that match was, unfortunately. The match itself wasn't bad, but that, ugh. Anyways.
no, yeah,
Um, that leads us to the Night of Champions card, which was the following day. Uh, Started at what, 1 p.m. Eastern? So, pretty early show. 6 matches on the card. Kicked off with Cody Rhodes defeating Randy Orton and becoming the King of the Ring to challenge SmackDown's undisputed WWE Champion at SummerSlam.
he's built his kingdom officially. It's not just song lyrics anymore.
In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, no less.
Ah, an American nightmare in Saudi Arabia. Building
Kingdom.
Match is good.
kingdoms
The
on top
Kingdom
of
of Saudi
kingdoms.
Arabia.
Match was good. It's two guys who know each other pretty well. It was fun. I don't really have much to go on. It was pretty easy conclusion to figure out with Cody and Randy.
Yeah.
They said Randy and John was going to be the last time ever, even though WWE has definitely lied to us about things before. It makes more sense for Cody
Never.
to
Never.
never.
Never lied. It's just part of the Cody verse.
Brandon, you were correct. It was more than one crossroads, but it was only two. He didn't go for the trifecta this time.
No, he
And
did not, which kind of surprised me.
it seems like we're kind of leaning maybe towards a Randy heel turn sometime soon with him exposing the turnbuckle and being kind of dickish here.
Going for the punt
Hmm.
even, too.
He fought it. Well, I mean, he went for it, but it took him a minute. He had to
He
he had to
didn't
stall out on
he didn't
the
look too
voices.
thrilled. He didn't look too thrilled on the following SmackDown either.
No.
Cody went to congratulate him. He didn't look too thrilled. Or sorry, was that no, not SmackDown. Sorry, excuse me. Following the match when they did a promo with him, excuse me. He looked quite upset.
Yeah, Randy looked very dejected. Well, and what's interesting too is the fact that people are kind of bringing up on forum and stuff like, well, look at Cody being the white meat babyface that he is, attacking an injured body part on Randy Orton with his back, his well known, you know, physically compromised back. But or rather Cody, pulling out advantages that he needed to win the match. And people are like, well, is this really something that a white meat babyface does? Do they exploit weaknesses, especially or particularly against old friends like Randy Orton? So people are like, well, maybe leading into SummerSlam, this kind of brings us back where we left off. Like, is Cody willing to do what needs to be done to win? Is he going to exploit something on Cena now? Show a little edge to him, if we can say that. A little cope to him.
I was gonna say he needs to do what he did in his feud with Mr. Brody Lee, rest in peace, and just show up with dyed black hair. Really bring out the edge.
That's not going to
And
happen.
then come out to like Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
I'd like to
Why?
see that, but that's not going to happen.
Full edge.
Next up was Rhea Ripley defeating Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight in 14 minutes.
I thought it was a good match. I'm glad that Raquel got this chance because she's been, in the tag division for however long, and
Ah, well,
yeah,
she's
well,
back
and
there still.
she still is. You're not wrong, but it gives her a chance to stand out in a singles framework as well. And lest we forget, this woman also beat Io Sky for the NXT Women's Championship while holding one half of the NXT Women's Tag titles back still during the Thunderdome era. And she, was kind of one of the trifecta of the new, how do you want to call it? The new wave of female megastars coming up in WWE. It was her, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, all standing in they had the photo ops of them, all three of them champions when Rhea was champ on Raw, Bianca SmackDown. And I feel like since then, you've had Bianca and Rhea who have gone on to be very pronounced singles competitors within the women's division. But Raquel never really, due to injuries and other things, but like she's never really gotten that same chance. And I feel like this was a good first step in kind of putting her hopefully in the future towards something like that. If something were to go awry within the Judgment Day, or something happens where for whatever reason she's out on her own, then she hopefully has some good reps underneath her where she can stand out again. I
Ah,
think
well,
this was a good first step in that.
nothing will go awry in the Judgment Day now that all 5 active members are currently champions.
I mean,
That is accurate.
yeah, and I mean she did come to, and in that vein, I guess too, Rox did come down to assist Raquel in her time of need during that match.
Yep.
So she's proven her loyalty to the cause.
And is
Um,
now
didn't help her win.
officially women's tag team champion.
Yeah,
So
by virtue of the good word of Finn Balor
yeah, their first
putting her
title
over.
defense will be at Evolution in a fatal four-way tag match between themselves, another tag team from Raw, another tag team from SmackDown, which you would know who that is if you've seen the spoilers online, and a tag team from NXT.
I don't know who it is. I saw the spoilers for one thing on SmackDown that makes me excited, but we will not talk about them because we do not spoil things.
We do not. We do not.
Because we're not assholes.
No, but if you've been watching SmackDown, it shouldn't come to be much of a surprise who the tag team there would be.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I agree. I think Raquel could use more shine. I think she's underrated in a lot of aspects. I'm glad she gets 15 minutes to show out, and I mean, she probably could have used the win, but it's pretty tough to get for anybody to beat Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, considering they're using that match as like the justification to have Rhea versus Io at Evolution.
Well, the justification is that Io wants to face the best, and Rhea's the best, apparently.
Well, Rhea wouldn't necessarily have been the best if she couldn't beat Raquel, right? So
In a competitive match too, mind you.
yes, the
Well,
match was good.
It wasn't one-sided at all.
No, the match was good. Both got to put in work, so that was a decent one. Honestly, I think it was actually my favorite match of the show. To be completely honest with you guys.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just think it was a good match. Like, we didn't go on too
Yeah.
long. Yes, there was hijinks. Fucking hijinks
Expected.
almost every match nowadays.
Yeah.
WWE's kind of getting pretty bad at that, to be honest, but it wasn't overdone. Yeah, and now it's both are put into a new storyline as a result, so can't complain about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Next was Sami Zayn defeating Karrion Kross in 13 and a half minutes.
Yeah. Pierce, your thoughts. That's your boy.
Let me cry for 20 minutes here. No, it was a good match. He was the right winner. It would have made sense for Cross to win, but I get why Sammy won. And it seems like it's not a one and done with what we saw Monday with Cross attacking him with pipe. So maybe we get something at Saturday night's main event.
Wait,
maybe we get something at
attacking him
SummerSlam.
with what?
It was with a pipe, wasn't it?
I thought you just said with pipe, and I was like, whoa.
With a pike.
With no, with pipe.
With the pointy end.
Not with a pipe.
Oh.
Phrasing.
Oh, crack pipe?
I'm back on this again.
I'm gonna press the button.
Anyways,
I'm telling Marta.
it's gotta be said. Karrion Kross's entrance has gotta go. It sucks.
Yeah.
I think they need to run it back to where it kind of was in NXT, where you don't see him till he enters the ring.
It looks.
You have Charlotte do everything.
It does. That doesn't work for a big arena show. Like, it works on NXT because they're just in the performance center and it's a small place. But like, it shit doesn't cut it.
But for bigger shows, maybe do something different. Add something to the entrance, make it special for bigger shows.
It's already special. It's already too long, and it just looks stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The thing I got with it is it's purely like the semantic of like it's Scarlett standing forever on the stage, and then she has to like basically run down the ramp to get through the part that she's singing. She's supposed to be like slowly, seductively mouthing the song, but here she goes like speed walking down to the ring as she's talking up on the speakers, just making faces and stuff, trying to look spooky, and then she gets up to the ring to get to the one part, and then like I don't know, it takes you out of it kind of. Like there was a presentation that was unique about his NXT run, right, with that song and with the the lighting and everything, but like it's lost when it gets to main roster, and that's where. And honestly, too, I don't know. I feel like if you wanna,
Keep the song,
I feel
change
like
it. How about that?
Cross could
The
just use
song's
a
too
revamp,
long.
and he just needs a revamp, dude. That's the way I see it. Like if you
Really?
want to take him seriously, if you want to get people to put eyes on him, like give him a whole new thing.
Give him a sing
Incorporate
along
Scarlet still
theme
by all
song.
means.
Give him a song you can sing along to. That's the solution.
Bingo.
Let
Yep,
him
that's how
go.
they all get
Let him
over.
go yeet, and
Well, let's not go that far now.
and then the crowd will get behind him even more
The
than
crowd
already.
minus Brandon.
Yes, but I had to say about the match was whatever. Like it was nothing special, quite
Mm,
frankly.
yeah.
And hey, he was bumping. There was a lot of bullshit
Oh
about that.
yeah, he did do
Maybe
some
Where did
back
that come
bumps.
from?
twice.
I didn't
I
count
don't
the
know.
number of back bumps, but I did see at least one.
Where the
Mm.
fuck did that come from? That's so dumb.
If someone just
It's
screen
like,
captured a really stupid bump that he took and just ran a narrative with it, because it was a pretty dumb bump in that original like shit post on X. Like he should have fallen on his back, but instead he like tucked his legs underneath him like a fucking fool, and it looked like he could have broken both of his legs. And that's what kind of started this whole like he refuses to take back bumps, and then people were
oh,
posting other videos where he's doing like side bumps instead and stuff like that.
was it when he was facing Hammerstone and took that like Uranagi and it kind of his legs got like caught underneath him?
Yeah, but it looked like it was intentional because there's no reason for his legs to go
Oh
backwards
no,
like that.
that was a complete accident. I mean, shit happens in wrestling. You
Yeah,
know,
but that's what started it. Like someone
it's
took
just
that
people.
clip and people ran with it, like which normally happens on social media. But yeah,
Right.
he took some back bumps, probably intentionally, but it doesn't. His matches aren't particularly interesting. I think that's always been the case with him. Like he's capable of telling a good story in the ring, but the matches themselves are not anything special. They're not technical
Yeah.
masterpieces. They're not fast paced. They're not filled with power moves. Like they just don't really do. They don't check off any of the high boxes that good matches need to be able to check off.
It was a Raw match. They could have done it on Raw.
They
They
could
could
have
have done it in
absolutely done it
Pittsburgh.
on Raw.
It was going to be on Raw, and then
Dom and
think
And then it got bumped
AJ
because of the
got bumped.
sure.
But
And I said it
anyways,
last week too. I was like, man, I hope he makes the most out of this opportunity because it can either make or break a lot of his year going forward. And I mean, right, hopefully we see something neat come out of the follow up from Raw, beating him with pipe and everything, beating his pipe or whatever the fuck he was doing. But
God damn it,
I,
Brandon.
I,
beating that
I,
pipe.
Shut up,
I'm
bitch!
crossing my, I'm crossing my fingers, both of them right here.
Do you want me to fucking press a different button for this, or
Oh, are we pressing? Is this where we're on now? I was saying I was offering a bit of optimism here. I'm not totally convinced that Cross is, got the dirt poured on him yet, but
he's he's one of the most interesting characters in WWE currently, and maybe his matches could be better, but he's still getting some of the biggest pops just from appearing in backstage segments. So
he's potentially the most interesting character. There's potential to his character, but it's just even when he was in storytelling in the match with Sammy too. Like you say that he tells good story in the match, but like, oh, tell them that you're a liar. You're a liar, Sammy. I'm like, what? Like,
The
I don't
effort's
know.
there that doesn't really exist in necessarily a lot of other matches. But to quote Adam Cole,
Yeah,
baby, you know how that quote
bye
went.
bye.
what happened next?
I did.
We have a new WWE United States champion as Solo Sikoa defeated Jacob Fatu in 12 minutes.
I believe I called that.
I think Brandon did
But he
too.
didn't do it solo. He didn't do it solo though. I mean,
No,
yes, I did call it, but
Solo did not
no, he's
win solo.
no.
The tribal chief finally has some gold.
The goat.
The
Look.
truth.
Oh, you weren't referring to the returning the infamous Tangaloa.
He might have been.
I thought I thought that was who you were talking about with your
And
tribal
the
chief
goat
there.
does not have gold.
I figured
but
that spoke for
goat did
itself.
return. So we had
No,
multiple
goat
Yes.
did
returns in this
return.
match. Yeah, we had two. We had multiple. Sorry, we had a return and we had technically a debut for televised
Yeah.
content. So Tongaloa, the goat, the true heir to the tribal throne, returned in this match to attack Jacob Fatu. And then I haven't seen any official content, but I did see tweets saying that they said it in the post show
It's
that
official. It's official.
Tala Tonga, aka
Hmm.
Hikuleo, he also attacked Jacob Fatu to have Solo win the match.
And boy, did Michael Cole botch that call.
It was
It's Tonga Loa's brother, Tonga's brother. What the fuck was he trying to say?
He just couldn't. He
He has
couldn't
a lot of
say the
brothers.
name. He's like, "Fuck! I want to say the person's name, but I know I'm not supposed to say their name,
Yeah,
and
but
I
he did
don't
it for
remember
Jeff
what his
Cobb.
new name
They
is."
Hikuleo, and then they changed it to Talatonga after the fact.
Tala Tonga. What a stupid fucking name.
We were talking about this. His real name is Taluo or Talula.
His real name is Tala, so there's a U right in the middle there. It's
Taula.
Taula. That's his
Taula.
real name, and they could have made something cool out of that, but no,
They just
he's
put-
he's not Shorta, he's Tala
He's the
Tonga.
tallest of Tongas.
Of all Tongans, he is certainly the tallest. Yes.
another son of the infamous scariest man alive, Haku. Yeah, I think this is the right choice. Jacob could have won, but I think Solo winning is the more interesting and the more fun choice. That group of it's not really a bloodline. I mean,
Timu
there's the Blood
bloodline.
Brothers.
Now they're truly the Timu bloodline.
Well,
It's
who in that group is actually related to Solo? You know what I mean?
on a
Solo
blood
has no
brother
bloodline in
basis.
that group.
Tama and Hikuleo. I'm not going to call him Tala.
Hey, don't be that way. We're not going back to calling people Walter and all that crap. No, it's Tala Tonga.
Guys, did you know JC stands for Jeff Cobb?
Tonga
His
and
real name,
Tala
not his slave name.
are like related through a blood brother pact between two High Chief Peter Maivia and whoever Haku's dad are. So it's something like that. So
Little
not
losers.
technically related, but related through Samoan reasons.
Hey, all I gotta say, 4 letters, 1 word. Stop.
Yeet.
Stop. As per our new champion Solo Sikoa, his post show interview. Also, another clip for him is just
He is the funniest man on the roster
the
currently.
memes. Yeah, he's just naturally funny, and it's not like he can still be an intense wrestler while having a comical presentation, which, quite frankly, none of the other comical wrestlers recently have been able to do both. So
That's a good point. That's a good point that you brought up. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys.
He
Turns it
cursed.
on in the ring, man.
That's pretty threatening.
Who's current?
what do you mean?
Danhausen, he's a comedy wrestler, but he's also intense when he curses people. That's pretty threatening.
Danhausen's a lot of things. Threatening isn't one that I would necessarily
You're gonna get
classify.
cursed.
Not
You're getting cursed.
not on TV is one of them.
That's true. He's gonna be in Wisconsin in like 2 weeks, and I'm gonna say hello. So
Danhausen?
Sweet.
Dathausen?
After that, we had Jade Cargill become the Queen of the Ring by defeating Asuka, and she has earned a SmackDown Women's Championship match at SummerSlam, presumably against Tiffany Stratton. This match was not good, and I am definitely not looking forward to that match either, of Tiffany versus Jade. I think it's a big mistake booking that match. I've said it already. I don't think having two faces go in a high-profile title match makes a lot of sense, especially these two specifically, because all it's going to do is just bury Jade in the crowd's eyes. It's not going to do her any favors at all.
Also, this is just me. I hate that Asuka's hip attack is now a finish. I thought it was like I liked it as like the setup to her kicking somebody's head into the rafters or the Asuka lock. The Empress Impact is just not it for me. I did like the finish of her catching her in the Empress Impact and then hitting the Jaded, but it's just
It was really sloppy though, because like she caught her great, and then she like fell off of her while she was trying to pin her, and it looked really stupid.
yeah, it was
Did
not
you
great.
did you also like the part where she did a kip up on a bad knee and then proceeded to super kick Asuka with the same bad leg that she had? I thought that was great. Just totally.
I
It's
don't.
one of those things,
I'm
man.
not as critical when it comes to like you're having some struggles with that phone there, Brandon. I'm
We're
not
not
so
seeing that.
critical on the continuity gaps. Like, oh, the left leg was attacked. Why is she holding her right leg? Like, yeah, it looks stupid, but like whatever. But like when she literally does her finisher and can't even stay like pinning her because she just kind of like falls over and just makes them both look really stupid. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's the ending of the match. That's that moment where you're like, oh, this is the end of the match. Let's see, and then it's like,
Yeah, it was given Gunther Randy Orton vibes from last year.
yeah.
These people were talking about how that pin went to shit too, and then well, we got a match out of it. So who's to say what comes of this too? Refresher on my memory, who was the Queen of the Ring last year? Because SmackDown flushed it this year. Gunther
Nia.
was Raw. It was
It was
Nia.
Naya,
Oh, and she was SmackDown. Okay.
and she
Yeah, I was
beat
trying to think of
Bailey.
how badly Raw's getting. Trying to think how badly Raw's getting effed in this new King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring
Well,
iteration.
I mean, Raw is.
But
I mean, I still think Asuka versus Io would probably be the best plan for SummerSlam for Raw.
and
And it
it's
still might be.
probably still gonna
It still might
happen.
be. Yeah.
And with what we saw this Monday, I think, well, spoilers for Saturday night's main event. LA Knight should 1,000% beat Seth Rollins. Um, and I think because of what happened in that little segment, I think we might see Gunther Punk at SummerSlam, but that's still yet to be seen.
Could be a
Mm.
triple.
So
Could be a triple threat or a fatal four way even. Like there's lots. Seth is in this weird spot because like he's presenting himself as somebody who could get like this was the bullshit with him winning the Money in the Bank match. Quite frankly, was like he's already top booking that he can easily deserve a title match at any major pay per view, PLE,
he'd ask for
whatever.
one.
Yep.
And now he's holding a briefcase too, so you shouldn't give him those title matches. But now you don't have anybody overly deserving of that title match either.
I mean, there's two people they could do the title match for. Punk's one, but
It's
I
not
think
going to be
chances
Punk.
are
It's not going to be
it's
Punk.
going to be Punk and Seth at SummerSlam. The other one, if he really did move over to Raw, is if he beats Seth Rollins, give it to LA Knight.
Yeah,
Do LA Knight versus Gunther.
yeah. I think LA Knight's kind of worn out his welcome on SmackDown. There's not really much left for him, especially if it ends up that there's a title change at SummerSlam for their main title. Doesn't really work well for him
Mhm.
either. So,
Well, and let's be honest too. If you're on SmackDown and you're anybody besides like Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns or John Cena, there's not really a great chance you're going to be seeing a main title run anytime soon. Your best bet at this juncture is just to go to Raw and hope you win the World Heavyweight Championship because ain't shit moving until December for SmackDown's title picture. That much I can pretty confidently say. I mean, right? Like you said, we still got Seth in the bank, right? So we'll see how that goes.
Run
But
we kind of
Gunther LA Knight.
yeah, we kind
I
of
think
jumped
that's
into a weird spot here because we were still talking about the women's match, but um,
ah,
yeah, I don't know how we got onto
not a
this
great,
well,
train.
I
not a
started
great move.
and then I kind of segued into the side. So
Nevertheless, we'll move on to the main event, which will help fuel some of this discussion. John Cena defeated CM Punk in 26 minutes
Hmm.
to retain the undisputed WWE Championship. Unseen 17, greatest of all time. Yeah.
So
Thoughts on this match and the fucking overbookedness of this match?
so the match before the interference, I said it was going to be Cena's probably best match in his retirement run. I think we can confidently say that's correct until the interference. The match before that, the term wrestling soulmates gets thrown out kind of wildly. And I think Punk's best rival of all time is still maybe MJF, but when it comes to WWE, it's Cena with number one with a bullet. And these two still know each other very, very well. They work together very, very well, even now when Cena's not been full time since 2017, 2018. And Punk, Punk's still full time, but he was out of wrestling for 7 years. So them coming back and having the type of match they did up until the interference is great. And I'm glad they did. And it showed that these two are, for lack of a better term, wrestling soulmates. The interference was fucking stupid.
Sorry. So the sequence of interference here. So like, make sure we get this right. So typical ref bump that now happens in every single main event title match. Happened with Roman. Now it's happening with Cena. Like, it's just, these spots just continually happen. But we get Seth Rollins and his faction, his still unnamed faction, all come out, all four of them. Beat the hell out of, in a horribly botched table spot that was ugly as shit. I don't know if just
the big guys look like fucking goobers most of the time. Like, how are we supposed to take them seriously when they get their shit rocked constantly in these spots?
It's not even even just like they throw Punk outside of the ring and two big huge guys can't even fucking slam Punk into the table properly. Is that because Punk sandbagged them or they just got lazy? I don't know, but that spot looked fucking stupid.
Miscommunication.
Terrible.
It looked awful. Then you've got Penta doing his best Jeff Hardy impression.
Well, Seth called for Charles Robinson.
Okay.
And John Cena did his best Keith Lee impersonation by giving him the old pounce.
Right.
Oh, that's bold to use Keith Lee instead of, the alpha male.
Well, obviously, Monty Brown is like number one, but in the WWE sense, the best pounce ever was Keith Lee. When he sent Adam Cole into the fucking stratosphere that one time.
I don't know. Go back and watch Monty Brown pounce Sabu on ECW one time and tell me how much. He looked like he was in suspended animation.
On Adam Cole, he disappeared. He was dead.
Anyway.
Well, it's also Adam Cole too.
Anyway, so
other people, so Cena stops the ref. Though there was nobody in the ring, so it didn't even matter that a ref was running out because neither Cena nor Punk was in the ring.
Yeah, but he could still cash in, make it a triple threat.
Sure.
Which
you got to get someone in a ring.
Why do they want to cash in the middle of a title match? Why don't they cash in the middle of a non-title match? I think they should make that a thing because then that would cause the other person in that non-title match be able to win the title and would add an extra edge to that cash in.
Yeah, but that's not where you get your big moments. And how often are champions in non-title matches? It's not that often, especially if it's Cena right now.
Not world titles specifically, but they need to do it a little more often.
But anyways, Braun and Bronson come back. Then Penta does his best Jeff Hardy impression, which was really stupid.
He's got to be a smooth operator sometimes.
It looked
he don't give a fuck about no Cena.
Looked so fucking stupid. Then Sami Zayn comes out, and Sami and Braun couldn't figure out the exact spots. Penta just screams at them and jumps on them. And we're back in the ring, and Punk saves Cena from a tsunami. Then we get a recreation of the Cody Cena spot at Elimination Chamber. And it's just like...
It's too much.
Then Seth comes in and takes out Punk and Cena. And then Cena wins, and Seth says that his whole intention was to screw Punk. It wasn't even to cash in.
Then screw Punk. Don't. It's just too much.
I was overbooked like hell, and you were I guess the right person won still here, but like
Like I said, the first however many minutes before that interference, what, like 15, 10, 15 maybe?
yeah, 15.
It was great. And it's, like I said, I think I'm going to confidently say it was Cena's best match of the year so far.
I think he was
Up
better in the
until that.
Elimination Chamber match.
That's
He had
fine.
he had a good performance in that Elimination Chamber match for what it was.
I agree with that.
But if we're talking one-on-one, this is probably...
Sure, yeah, 1-on-1, I agree, but like, you did say best match of the year, and that's when I was like, Elimination Chamber was
Fair enough,
probably
fair
better.
enough. But it's just overbooked nonsense is fun when done right. And it was not done right here. It was pretty fucking stupid here. So now we go back to Cena and Cody, which is fine. It makes sense. Punk's gonna stay with Seth because those two just have hate boners for each other and just can't stop until they murder each other, apparently.
Which I'm fine with. I got no
Yeah,
problem
Happens
with
every
that.
other week.
They're absolutely great together. And Braun and Bronson will continue to fight Penta and insert person here.
The faces
Fine. Braun and
of
Penta are
Monday
fucking
Night
great.
Raw. Yeah, but eventually that's gonna hit its shelf life though too, and you gotta figure something else out for these guys. It can't just be It can't be Braun versus the faces ad nauseum. We gotta switch it up a little bit. Like they just got to mash up. Like so, we got that going for them now. But like let's put the bar up a little higher on who they're squashing, and they need to start squashing.
Yeah, let's get a 6-man match.
Right.
Right?
Something to boost them up a bit.
Just
Tying back.
change it up. It's not hard. It'll keep your audience invested. It's like that match up until the interference is great, and then you have that interference, and you're like, okay, everything is happening all at once. I don't know where to fucking look.
It was botched interference, a lot of it, right? Like, it was sloppy interference.
Yeah, it was sloppy shot.
When Punk did the tope over the top rope, and they weren't in position, Punk almost landed head first on the floor, and then they tried to put him through a table.
Yeah, I'm assuming like when they weren't in position, two big dudes to catch him, like he probably just sandbagged the next spot. He's like, "Fuck you guys." That's my headcanon. I don't necessarily blame him for that, but like, it looked stupid as shit.
It's one of the biggest matches of the year because of the two people in it. It's one of the greatest rivalries WWE has ever put on.
It's the main event of the only Saudi show this year, the highest money-making show of the year.
And it was botched to all hell.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But now we go on to SummerSlam, or Saturday Night's main event, and then SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And Evolution. Jesus Christ, there's so many fucking events.
Yeah, we got next week we're doing predictions for Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and All In.
Great American Bash, right?
And Great American
Bash.
Featuring
Najee.
4 prediction shows.
Featuring Najee.
Hopefully. Yeah. Like,
so much fucking wrestling.
Did you guys happen to catch on the note of SummerSlam and tying back to the little moral flexibility that Cody might be showing? John Cena threw down the championship belt. He had a chance to use it on Punk, but he thought better of it. And then he got caught being vulnerable, kind of the reverse of what happened at Mania there, where Cody had his chance, threw it down, Cena nutted him, right? So maybe tying back to how Cody Orton went, and then with this instance with Cena Punk, maybe we see a little bit more of that
Cena's going face
moral
before
gray
the end of
area.
this run. Cena's going back to being a face before the end of this run. It's
without a doubt.
This heel run hasn't been as like great as we thought it was, but for everything
It's
that
been getting better.
Good. And the Punk rivalry for the 3 weeks it was is what put it to where it needs to be. So I'm glad those two got their last match together. And yeah, I mean the right man won, but like, geez, it's too
Yeah,
much.
it had the potential to be the match that I wanted it to be, all things considered. And then the bullshit happened, and I'm just like,
They
okay,
were
this is completely off the fucking
so
rails
close.
now.
They were
It was so
so
it for you got to consider these are two guys in their mid and late 40s wrestling in a hot, soupy ass arena, like they kept saying on commentary. Wade wouldn't shut up about how he's sweating bullets and shit, and it's just so hot and humid in this massive arena. And you got these two guys who are in their stages of life with, Cena and his career change and, only being full time on the road more regularly again this year. And then Punk with his history, right? Like he's been in plenty of matches since he's come back. He's been banged up to hell, even, we consider the bang up he had before he came back to WWE. And for them to put on a match that they did at the caliber, I was very thoroughly impressed with that. It was great. It felt kind of like being back in 2011 a little bit, glimmers of it, right? I mean, it certainly wasn't Money in the Bank 2011 caliber match, but
yeah, 2011
all things
Money in the Bank
considered,
was in a echelon of its own because of the crowd, the match itself, the finish. Like that is a lightning in the bottle type of match because of how it's damn near perfect if it's not perfect. This
well, and all
was
things considered,
for their last match for those 15 minutes as good as we could get. But then those last 10 just fucked it.
I mean, all things considered with the Punk and Saudi context, and then when you have the match itself that happened and how alive they still were for the match itself, but also particularly for Punk, like it definitely brought a whole extra layer to the mystique of that match, right? The
And
just the
Punk
overall and
was getting booed his first day in Saudi, and he turned the crowd with an apology.
Yeah, because he shoved the
And
kid.
well, if you watch that
he
back,
did.
Punk didn't shove the kid; the security guard did.
It looked like Punk in the green hoodie to me.
Looked like Punk's
Pink
extended
hoodie. I'm
arm to
sorry.
me.
It was the security
Yeah,
guard,
I mean,
and
yeah, of course you'll be
and El
defending
Grande
CM Punk.
Americano is not Chad Gable.
Oh, we'll get into that in a
But
minute, but
but I don't know whether or
like,
not his apology was legitimate. The people did appear to warm to
peaked
him.
it,
he did still
and
get
then
booed during his promo on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like
anyways,
basically, but
overall impression of the card rating.
I'm gonna give it a 6. I
yeah.
like it's fine, maybe a bit better than fine, but that's kind of where I'm sitting.
Yeah, after I got to rewatch the Punk Cena match because I kind of conked up until Seth Rollins cash in, I told the boys at Wrestling for Life 5, but since then, 6.5. We'll say 6.5 by
Yeah,
virtue of the Punk Cena match addendum.
I'm on a 5. This card was not good.
It wasn't great, all in all.
So,
Definitely not what you expect for a Night of Champions, but we
Well,
got
it wasn't really a
SummerSlam
night
coming
of
up though.
champions; it was a night of two champions. Which,
Yeah,
speaking of champions, I also want to talk about Fatu and Solo. I just remembered this. Fatu just pulling out a Sasuke special. Like, what the fuck can't this guy do? We've seen him do
well,
regular topes. We've seen him do suicide dives. He pulls out a fucking Sasuke special. It's insane.
did he do a Fosbury flop too, or am I imagining that shit? I could have
I
swore he did a Fosbury flop,
think he did.
but
But, but the Sasuke
well, if
special
anyone could,
for
it'd be
him,
him.
his size is just insane.
We're gonna see a lot more out of Jacob Fatu though. Like I said, I feel like him losing the U.S. title is a blessing in disguise. I feel like they're gonna build him for main event, and he could be a very very viable winner at the Royal Rumble in January.
good.
But they got to start him now.
You could. Last little bit of stuff from Raw. Again, don't want to take too much here. There are new men's World Tag Team Champions. The New Day are no longer champions. They were defeated by Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day, who were the faces in that match, and quite notably the faces in that match, which I thought was
Fucking
interesting.
banger of a match, too.
Um,
hmm
So yeah, that New Day reign sucked. I don't know.
Which sucks for the New Day because the heel turn was so great,
Yeah,
but it's just
and then just everything afterwards fell flat on its face. Like,
the execution was not there.
nope. So we'll see. Hopefully, the Judgment Day's tag team reign is better than their last one, which they defended it twice in 3 months,
6 months.
Yeah, they're about.
something like that. And also we came to the discovery that we already knew. Most of us already knew, but just
That Donnie and Pierce knew.
the definitive moment that El Grande Americano isn't necessarily a person. It is more an embodiment of
He's
the
an
spirit
idea.
of luchador wrestling within the nation of the United States of America.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's definitely not Chad Gable.
Nope.
Not this iteration, anyhow.
So Brandon, if I could, respectfully,
Go fuck yourself!
you were wrong.
No, this it's like one of those weird
No,
variants that
not
came
no,
through the multiverse.
not no, Donnie. Is it Chad Gable? Definitively.
That was not Chad Gable that we saw on
That
Monday night.
that was plainly not Chad Gable.
I
And
thought you
would-
thought you
I'd
had
love
your
to hear him
ace
on a
in the
mic
hole.
first night.
Yeah, you thought you had your ace in the oh, look at the mask, it says Chad Gable's name on it. Haha, got him. But like first night that he was on Raw, we saw Chad Gable and then we saw El Grande Americano. Chad
Saw
Gable
a man in an El Grande Americano mask that
it's
was
not
filmed on.
impossible to
It's like
think
it was a
that
Bigfoot sighting, bud. It was a Bigfoot sighting. You can't prove shit with that. Oh, some guy in dark walking back there with a Grande Americano mask with blurry lens.
wow.
Oh yeah, totally
There,
different person.
right under the spotlights of that segment, we saw El Grande Americano in all of his likely German glory.
See, there it
And
is.
I don't know who it is. I'm gonna play ignorant.
that looked a lot like Ludwig Kaiser to me.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Where's
haven't been
Wade
able
Barrett to do
get
nipple
him.
analysis? We need nipple analysis from Wade Barrett on this one.
Yeah, that's when we're going to get the definitive proof. We need the nipple analysis.
Yeah.
We got money in the
I mean,
bank.
and also too the foolproof, distinguished posture that one Ludwig Kaiser has as well. Particularly the walk. Did you see him walk away with his little bit of European elegance in that walk that he
Yeah,
did there? Not quite American,
no.
not quite American, or not even Americano, but I guess we'll see how great the Mexican American luchador legend responds to these allegations when he gets on a mic and totally doesn't reveal his German accent. So can't wait.
I think that's mostly it for us. Like we said, next week we have a ton of shit to cover.
Boys, it's going to be our
I think
1 year
there's some breaking
anniversary
news
show.
from Dynamite 300. Hangman
Is that
versus
going
John
on?
Moxley is now a Texas Death Match.
Like the one they
Great.
had at Revolution that one year?
Yep.
Great.
So it's the second one? Well, okay.
Moxley's gonna bleed
Yep.
like
Who
a
won that
pig.
one?
And now I think
Mox?
that no, Hangman did.
Oh, so he's not. Oh, fuck.
I think this is my main event now. Now that that's the case, I don't want it to
Yeah.
be, but that's some big breaking news to end our show. I mean, I'm sure Donnie is so happy that Moxley will bleed everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I literally said he's gonna bleed like a fucking pig. But as long as the end result is Darby Allin fucking coffin dropping from a helicopter, then it's fine.
Well, apparently he's going to be back imminently. It would make sense if they do the full lineup for what is the Casino Battle Royal or Casino Gauntlet. If they make it all 20 and 21, he's the Joker. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
who it should end up being.
Which it's gonna be tough to beat that men's Casino Gauntlet from last year because that every single entrant was a surprise.
Yeah, well,
So
Darby jumping out of a helicopter will be the biggest surprise of them all. So
he's going to jump
With-
off of Everest into a helicopter,
yes,
take the helicopter all the way to Texas, and then
correct.
jump out of the helicopter.
Yes, and he'll still have his Sherpa in tow.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't go without the Sherpas.
Yeah,
He'll be accompanied by Sherpas.
yeah.
But we'll get more into it next week. I'll touch base with Najee. I believe he will be joining us. Talk a little bit of Great American Bash.
We're gonna have to power through that with all the prediction stuff that's gonna have to come up. Well, it'd be nice to have him on. We'll have to power through it. No 3 hour shows for
No, we're retired from those.
It's our 1 year extravaganza,
I
bonanza,
want to go 3 hours.
that too.
telethon.
Yeah, we got to celebrate our 1 year too.
Yeah,
So
July
Let's
11th
celebrate
was
that
our
with a
first
couple
post.
2-3 beers then.
Oh yeah,
I'll actually grab a Canadian beer for next week's episode. Nice little
oh, boy.
moose head.
Little what now?
Oh, I don't know Canadian beers.
Moose head.
You said Moosehead?
Moose head.
This is
What if they sell that down here?
They
That
probably
thing.
do. It's like commercial Canadian beer. It's not Molson, but
Not Labatt.
We have some Lining Kugels. Or maybe I'll grab some Spotted Cow. Grab the true Wisconsin beer.
not a bad
Yeah.
idea.
I got my Hinterland. That's Wisconsin as I'm
And
getting.
next time you have some Spotted Cow, Donnie, we'll get it that it's cold instead of, not that it didn't taste bad. It still tasted pretty
I
good.
was
it
very
tasted
upset
fine.
that fridge did not work. I was very
Yeah.
upset that fridge did not work.
That was unfortunate, but that's all I
Take it
got.
better.
Yeah, I'm good.
Brandon, I'm giving you 1 minute. Do you have anything?
A whole one?
You get 1 whole minute.
Nah, I ain't got shit.
All right.
All right.
Shit.
I'll send us home as always. Thanks everybody for stopping into the Ope 3-Way. Have a beer on us. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.